typical and still.
What is going on here? What's happening? Is that ketchup on our floor? Nope. What are you doing? Don't lie to me. I just saw the ketchup. You just put it behind your back. What's going on here, Cassidy?
Vin.
Oh, Vin, is it? Well, I thought we'd went over this with Fault in Our Stars, Vin. You can't sell your soul to a book.
Tell I'm excited for Salt Lake City Comic-Con! Going to Comic-Con in one day. If I were any more stoked, I'd be a campfire, am I right? I know, I'm supposed to be Vin, and I don't have my mist cloak. I left it at my in-laws' house. What kind of Mistborn doesn't have a mist cloak? It was a mistake. Please, switch off your judgmental thoughts, I'm sorry. Got the wig though, that's pretty cool, right? Don't worry, you'll see my full costume later. I have been waiting until now to review this series. Do you know how hard that's been? I've been wanting to scream it from the rooftops. I love the Mistborn series so much! I reviewed book 1 some time back, and honestly, I was naive back then. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Books 2 and 3, and then just the series collectively, it's actually kind of a difficult sensation to describe. Like taking the world's fastest roller coaster through dimensions of space and time? No, like you found out the sun is actually a book series, and it's this book series. Brandon Sanderson, you have got yourself a seriously impressed fan, maybe a little bit obsessed. I have gushed time and time again about Sanderson's compelling storytelling and just amazing world building, but I honestly cannot gush enough. The Mistborn series just exemplifies all of this stuff I've been so excited about. With a subtle yet precise hand, Sanderson slowly brings you into his fictional world. It's kind of like that old saying with putting a frog in boiling water. You start out with warm water and then it progressively gets hotter till the frog just dies, pretty much on the frog's own terms. So yeah, I'm the frog. Dead. Before you know it, you're boiled. You're gone. You've been completely submerged in this fictional world as if it is your own. The Mistborn world is entirely unique, and the reading experience took me places I've never been before. And I read a lot. Like a lot. The characters are masterfully developed, the writing is pristine. I just can't tell you enough about it, but I'm sure as heck gonna try. First of all, loved the second book. I was totally digging it. Long gone was the Vin that made me want to pull out my hair, and in came a Vin that made me want to put on her hair. Like, yeah, it's a little bit frustrating watching Vin consistently doubt herself over and 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 over again as she comes to terms with her nature and the desires of her heart. But eventually we get there, and once we get there, it's awesome. The beginning of book 2 is like a warning. It's like, look, reader, I know you think you thought you knew what was going on, but you only thought you thought that. You have no idea what's going on. Whatever you think you thought you thunk, you didn't think you thunk correctly. Basically, you had no idea what was coming. You really didn't. You didn't have a single clue. You can tell this from the first 50 pages of the second book, which take a very dramatic turn from where book 1 ended up. It makes sense too, since book 1 felt more like the end of a book series rather than the end of a book in a series. We had really hit a turning point, and I just didn't see it coming. I should have known that we had just hit the tip of the iceberg. There are some truly incredible components of book 2 that actually make it my favorite, such as the amazing battle scenes, new characters that I just adored, more information about the metals and how they work, but the number one thing is that Sanderson has an admirable understanding of human nature. Just because the Lord Ruler is gone doesn't mean all is perfect and organized and great. Government isn't easy. Feeding entire towns of people is not easy. The change from slavery to freedom after decades and decades of enslavement is not an easy transition. The second book really captures these trials. People don't just fit seamlessly into these new roles they've been thrust into. People aren't super stoked about King Ellen Venture. People do not throw themselves at Ellen Venture. Well, Vin, but anyway. I admired the quality of Sanderson's writing a lot in all the books, because Sanderson treated his fantastical fictional world as if it is reality. There are rules. People are real people, and happy endings are not automatic and lasting. Book 3 was, oh, I hate this word, but I can't think of a better word. Epic. So epic. And just mind-blowing. I hate that one too. I was honestly surprised at every single turn. But these weren't cheap twists. Like, just kidding, it was all a dream, or anything like that. These were twists that, when they happened, at first you were like, what? And then you were like, oh my gosh, duh. They made sense. Everything fell very neatly into place. I gotta tell you, man, just for instance, I was completely floored when it was revealed that Vin's earring was a hemalurgic spike. I seriously just, oh my gosh, duh. Oh, I gotta get that earring too. I have a stud too that I'm gonna wear. I'm really excited. I mean, as thrilled as I was about these crazy twists, the battles, and the fact that this series wasn't all about the fall of an evil overlord, but what happens after and the history thereof, I was none too happy about the ending. You didn't tell me they would die! Sorry, honey. I saw my 2 favorite characters go. Just like that. Just like that. Dead. Just like that! And then that's it. I mean, Sazed and Spook live, and that's great because they're 2 of my, favorite characters, but my 2 absolute favorite characters just die. They just die. And it's so sad, and why does this always happen to me? I was incredibly upset at first, okay? Well, I'm still upset, but, I've let it marinate, I've thought about it a little bit more, and I've come to really appreciate the sacrifice. It actually makes sense, it contributes to the plot in a positive way, even though it totally sucks to watch all your favorite characters die. Just like that. It all fits in this big, intricate puzzle that is the Mistborn series. Although I will say, I think the end of book 3 kind of left something to be desired. I'm still not entirely sure what it is, but I think it felt like there was a chapter missing. As much as I really liked Sazed's notes toward the end, I would have liked a more detailed description of the new world that came out of this just old, terrible one. And, how everyone contributed in the end. And how their sacrifices really attributed to this new, beautiful world. And I felt like Kelsier's memory needed a greater part in this. Because he was so important to everything that happened. And no, not Kelsier the survivor, the god, as the religion knows him. But Kelsier the man who started all this. Who brought people hope. He was the first sacrifice that mattered. But other than that, I was stunned and am still stunned, obviously, by these glorious books. Oh, I seriously, I could go on and on. I've just been having conversations with Jordan about these books. I have so much to say about them. The placement of religion and the gods and how they have a place in certain worlds and just religion and humanity and faith and friendship and loyalty. Oh my gosh, so many themes that'll make your head spin, but Brandon Sanderson does such a fantastic job. I'm so excited. Now just to read Way of Kings.
What? Again? Are you kidding me?